Hello there, Dick Benedict here. We're playing Marlow Briggs and the Mask of Death on hardcore difficulty. This is my video guide and walkthrough for hardcore difficulty. It's the hardest difficulty available for immediate play. And we're currently on part 5 of what I imagine will be about 10 parts, if I had to guess. If I had to vouchsafe a guess. So we're going to be accompanied by the whip bitch, whose name I don't know. Wasn't her name Kim? Sorry. I wish I had known that, so I wouldn't have had to vulgarly call her the whip bitch. But she did, whip us in the first video. Like, whipped us and tied our legs together. And that's why I just struck her. Because I think she really needed that to get hold of her priorities and figure out, what the fuck she's doing with her pathetic and wayward life. Now we're going to be just rolling this way in a really boring part. This is, I don't know. Couldn't you just sprinkle a bunch of enemies over there for us or something? But it's okay. I think we're going to meet up with some ghosts. Yep, the ghosts. So the ghosts have the ability to fly, so we can't just throw them out of the arena because since they're already flying around, they can just come right back in the arena. We can use the brainwashing technique on these guys. In fact, if you want to use the brainwashing technique on all of them, then you can just stand there as they're hitting each other, but since it's going to take too long for them to kill each other, you can just stand there. See how quick that session was? And look how fast you slide down. If only you could slide that down that fast in God of War 1. But we'll be fighting more. Look at this camera perspective. It's got a lot of these sort of really interesting perspectives. But guess who's trending over on the trending tab again? YouTube's golden boy, Casey Dickstat, or Casey Neistat, if you wanna Google him. The bitch is always on the trending tab. Like, he's always on there, and it's pretty clear at this point that he just pays YouTube to be on there. And I'm not being hyperbolic either. Hyperbolic, sorry. I'm not exaggerating. Not being sarcastic. The dude just pays to trend. Because the other channels have a lot of views and audience retention. Like, it's not just him trending, but he did a video about the Muslim ban, as he says it, at the JFK International Airport, and the bitch had the gall to call it the Muslim ban when it's a transportation ban, or a travel ban, I guess. And all these Casey Neistat nut huggers, these Dickstat nut huggers, they're defending him. And when I went on his channel just to say some common sense, they all attacked me, because that's what generally happens. I didn't troll this time. They maybe thought I trolled, but all I said was he's not doing it. He's not imposing this ban because they're Muslims per se. He's banning these countries because they're dangerous countries. And I got attacked by all these Dickstat nut huggers. It's just, these people have this allegiance to these people on YouTube. I don't understand it. Because, I don't know. It's just, these, somebody that would pay to trend. You're not that trendy, you fucking dick. Fucking Dickstat motherfucker. I've never hated someone as much as I'm not gonna lie, it has to do with his face too, because his face is fucking ugly. dude, fix your fucking face. It's that kind of ugly. Like, he needs a mask. I'm not kidding. But like, when I see this guy trending so much and, you know, not giving, I always said, let Haddo's chance trend. Why would, you know, why not have a tab for up and coming channels like Haddo's and mine and everybody else's who's low? And I know Haddo couldn't be on the trending tab ever, but because he never got a chance to have an audience and he never had a chance to trend. I don't like Neistat. I think he's attention seeking. He acts like he's 20. The guy's in his late 30s probably. But we're in the city of the dead now. And I know I have some highly contentious issues that come out of my mouth. But when I love something, I really love it. But when I hate something, I really hate it. Case in point, Casey Dickstat. He's just so self-important. Dude, you're not that important. And he's modest about it, but you know, like, he likes to think that he's important like that. He likes other people knowing that he's important. Fuck that, man. Give other people a chance. That's one of the reasons I hate him so much. It's not because he's ugly, although the fact that I can't even say it's an objective fact. It is subjective, but I think he's ugly. I would say that I'm not ugly, but I don't know. I'm not gonna just, you know, pretend I might not be ugly in someone's eye. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that this guy's a fucking dickstat. And maybe I had a little bit too much wine at supper, guys. It's no excuse. Oh, we're doing this challenge? This challenge is pretty cool. Just be really careful when you're running on these ledges here. Or is it really a ledge? They shortly turn into ledges, don't they? I watched a pretty good movie last night called Body Language, and no, it's not a porno. It sounds like it, doesn't it? It sounds like it, but it's actually an early 90s thriller starring Heather Locklear and Linda Pearl. And I actually thought that Linda Pearl was even more gorgeous than Heather Locklear, but I'm a closet Melrose Place fan. I've seen every episode. I've seen every episode of Melrose Place, every episode of Beverly Hills 90210. And I mean every episode. Like, I used to get the DVDs when they would come out. I would buy the set of DVDs from Amazon and binge. So I love Melrose Place. I love the whole Kimberly thing when she was in that accident and then Matt pulls her wig off in the hospital. It's just so great. I love Allison being blind and then pretending that she's not blind when she regains her sight. But there's one part in that whole thing that really, it's hard to watch. It's when Jake's brother just beats up Joe. It's, you don't see anything, but you hear her screaming and her cries. It's like that's a little bit too fucking far, man. That's jacked up. Oh, the Juggernaut of Chabtan. The Juggernaut of Japtan. Chabtan? The Juggernaut of Chabtan? What the fuck does that even mean? Okay, guys, I seared him a little bit right there. He does have a life bar, and those two hits can be blocked, but when he does wider swings that glow blue, those can't be blocked. He also does a kick, which doesn't deal much damage to you, but can't be blocked. And he also does a charge. There's his blue swings. You can see a little blue glimmer to it. There's his kick, that fucking dick. So he kicks, and then he does an overhead slam. And he also does a charge. So when he rushes you, just watch out for that, and then capitalize on him when he has to recover because he gets winded. That's the extent of his attacks. That's all he does. Wait a second. He also does a downward punch into the ground, which is an AoE. So he's got like 5 moves. See? He gets tired and has to get recovered. All I do basically is do the 4 Ys with this weapon, or the 5 Ys with the claws. But later in the game, you fight a couple of these. When he loses his mask, he's nearing death. Pretty cool enemy. Okay, so he's got a pretty wide repertoire of moves, doesn't he? But I think there's really no getting over that goddamn name. Why couldn't you just call him a Juggernaut? Like, why does it have to say of Chabtan? Oh, I also favor a move called, well, I don't know what it's called, but it's XXXY. It's a really awesome, like, downward sledgehammer attack. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that beast. Look what he's doing. He's got that, too. He's got so many moves I can't even count, guys. Now he's going down for the count, and I would imagine that we're going to have some little shits to kill on this guy. I would just execute him. I would just press B and get off of him. He's too slow. You can do 2 things with him. You can just do strikes, and you can do that downward slam with the Y button. But I'm going to jump off. You know, mounting and doing the combat while mounted, it's just not what it's not what it's cracked up to be. It's just not. These guys can be killed so easily and so much more quickly than being on that bastard who's now prostrate. But we just have... Now, these guys do have... like, every time you see a new enemy in this game, it says what they're called, yet it doesn't have a bestiary, so... it doesn't have a bestiary. Like, a bestiary to me is some sort of a way in the extra features menu to be able to call up everybody's picture and or model and to know their name, and to be able to maybe snap pictures of it or write it down. Just telling it one time in a game that you're probably going to forget later is not a bestiary. But once everybody's dead, we're going to head over here to the right and pick this experience up. How many do we have now? 7,500? Look at this interesting camera perspective, too. Another challenge or not? I kind of like the challenges now. And we might be able to use... I don't know. I just don't think you can ever use the magic twice, regardless of how many. Because I made all the purchases last time, and I never was able to use any of the 4 magics twice per bar. And I think that's a shame. The only thing that I would say that would make up for that is if there were hidden items that you could, like, that would extend your mana bar, like the collectibles. Like, if in place of those stupid fucking things, if there were maybe some other things that would just increase your mana bar so you can use the magic twice, that would give the incentive to find those, or even better, make it skill based and have different challenges along the game. Like off the beaten course, perhaps, of actual combat challenges instead of sliding down stuff challenges. And this game has some cool final bosses too. It's one guy. Also, the dialogue. Do you know the Chinese restaurant episode from Seinfeld? It's that fucking dude, the owner of the Chinese restaurant. He's in this game as a voice actor. I'm almost positive it's him. And I think this is the last thing we're doing here. This is not a challenge, but you might as well try to grab all the orbs that you can. It's very, very easy to do this because it worked. Did I miss one? Maybe did I fucking miss one? God damn it all to hell. But it has a lot of stuff like this. Stuff that works well. Nice diversions. Oh, and then this boss down here is something that we'll see later in the game. But for right now, actually, I can't remember if he has a reappear. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I know he comes back again. But this first phase, you're not interacting with him at all, except to hit his claws. Like, if you think you're going to be hitting his face here, no, that's not what you're doing. You're just running to the left of these conveyor belts and then getting a checkpoint and then just smashing his claws here. It's very, very simple. And we will be pulling something out of his face, namely his Cyclopian eye. Hope I said that right. In video 3 of my Dark Souls DLC project, I called something that candlestick holder. I called it a candelabra, but it's actually called candelabra. So I wanted to make sure that I corrected that, because I've listened back to that series that I did for the 5 videos for the Ashes of Ariandel DLC about 8 times now. It puts me to sleep. I love it. My own videos put me to sleep, and because they're relaxing. I have a relaxing voice to me. I've listened to it 8 times now, and every time that I listen to that, I wish I had made an annotation to correct that, because it's not called candelabra, it's called candelabra. So just remember that if you're trying to pronounce that word. So you will have a couple QuickTime events up here. When I first played this, I didn't see the Y. And then it's just Y and then tap B. And then we're going to be on this conveyor belt. Oh, or is he? Okay, so I guess we do see him later in the game. Now these, if you get trapped in them, it's just a QuickTime event to get out. I don't know if you take damage. We'll have to see. Because I did get trapped in one of these. That's pretty fair. Let's see if we take damage. See, there's our damage there. Let's see. We shouldn't. We honestly shouldn't. But the video is going to conclude in a very short amount of time. No, we didn't. I didn't do too well there, but I did everywhere else because I'm the best, and there really is no one better than me that I've ever seen, at least not in a 20-mile radius. I actually forgot that there's a little bit left to do on this installment before we get to the Iceland. So we've got a confrontation down here with a bunch of grabbable foes. We will be facing the sea monster again. You won't need any magic on him. You really don't need even any health, because if you have hardly any health going into the fight, there's a pickup on there. So try to avoid that though by at least filling up over here with this pickup. And remember, the block breaking combo for the shield guys is X, Y, Y. And what I try to do, and I would recommend this to you, is to grab some guys and try to mind bend them if you want to, because that will at least get some people off of you and have them start waging war on your behalf, which is always a good thing. And there's incendiary barrels down here. Should any enemies get close to them, you can either hit them, or you can maybe throw some folks into those. That might maybe be a good idea. And here's a pickup up here. Yeah, the sea monster is incredibly easy. You can see him in the background there. He's actually about ready to spring up. All you're going to have to do is just hit his tentacles off of the scaffolding that he's grabbing hold to, or of, I should say. You might as well use some magic here. The Iceland that's coming up I really don't care for, but hopefully this second time coming through it, I might like it a little bit more. I just, for some reason I just didn't like it too much last time, but I think this time around I might like it a little bit more, just because I appreciate the landscape of it and what they accomplished with it, all the effects. But here he is. All you have to do is just hit the tentacles on the left and right sides, the ones grabbing hold of the scaffolding, mind you, and then you will be going up to him and pressing B. You shouldn't have any conflicts running into that experience glyph up there. If you do, let me know.